2,000 years ago in ancient Rome, half the population was dead by the age of 22. Imagine, a life expectancy of just 22 years. And then, in the middle of the last century, it jumped to 40 years. And then to about 47 years at the beginning of this century. And today, on average, we will live nearly 75 years. Our life expectancy has almost doubled in just 5 generations. Toward the end of life, the attacking cancer or viruses finally win. The chemical defenders lose. We grow old, and then we die.
Over the past several decades, there has been an explosion in the usage of Internet and associated digital technology worldwide. As the Internet becomes more and more ubiquitous every day, society is quickly becoming a network society, which network and information and communication technology such as the Internet has had and continues to have deep-rooted effect on how society functions in many areas. Irrevocably, Internet is challenging the way we work, live, socialize, create, and share information and organize the flow of people, idea, and think around the globe.
死ぬのか。
ま
まあじゃないだろ。それにその選択は教えに反してる。どこまで教会を苔にするんだ。死の先に恐ろしい運命が待ってるぞ。
死の先なんか誰も知りませんよ。ソクラテス曰く、誰も死を味わってないのに誰もが最大の悪であるかのように決めつける。エピクロス曰く、我々のあるところに死はない。死のあるところに我々はない。セネカ曰く、生は適切に活用すれば十分に長い。僕はその全てに賛成です。
Death is an elemental concept that defines our existence and the meaning of it. Death is the end of life, the irreversible cessation of all biological function that sustain a living organism. That's why we find that one of the desire of a humanity that are told over and over within the page of human literature and history is the desire for immortality, the desire to escape the inevitable decay of one's mind and body. So it's natural to see that our ancestors were afraid of that mysterious state of I am being. In order to conquer that fear, human created the god, the myth, and the religion that reflect in reality our desire to overcome death and to reach immortality, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Fountain of Youth, the Elixir of Life, and most lately Frankenstein. Now, with our groundbreaking advancement in artificial intelligence, cryonic, genetic engineering, and nanotechnology, we will have a chance of beating death in a way or other. Mind uploading. Broadly referred to the process of transferring totality or considerable majority of the mental content from a particular human brain into a different substrate, most commonly an engineered substrate, most commonly a digital analog or quantum computer. Technically, this procedure is known as a whole brain emulation, but it's also referred to as mind copying or mind transfer, whole brain emulation, but it is also sometimes compared to mind cloning, which is the creation of a digital repository of a person's memory, feeling, and thought.
人はもはや進化をしない生き物ではないのか。がんの発生率が他の動物に比べて極めて少ない。ネオテニーである人類はもはや進化できないとする学説がある。もしそれが本当だとしたら、なんと愚劣な生き物に進化してしまったものだ。自分たちを動かしている力のことも知らず、ただ欲望を満たすだけのために肉体を維持している。つまらないとは思わないか。人間なんてそんなものでしかないんだ。そんな惨めな人間で居続ける必要はないんだ。抜け出すための出口だけは人間はやっと生み出せたんだからね。
何のこと？
ネットワーク、ワイヤードのことさ。レイン。
あなたは誰？
僕は神様だよ。
The man who calls himself the god of the wild, who later turned out to be one of the key characters of the entire work, Miyasami Eri. The later speak of neotony, of the human being, or the inability of our species to evolve further. The author's choice to bring up such a complex concept is undoubtedly unique. The neotony is the eventually phenomenon the individual of a species remain morphological and physiological characteristic typical of juvenile form. So what does the god of wild mean when he states that human beings are no longer able to evolve? Simple. According to Eri, humanity has completed its evolution. It has reached its final stage, or rather a stage of a stage. By becoming the dominant species on Earth, humankind no longer has any incentive to continue the evolutionary process, and consequently, instead of continuing its evolution, it's simply maintaining the genetic and physiological trait of its ancestor. However, in order to reach perfection, humanity still has to overcome the greatest of its limit, mortality, fitnesses. And this exactly where Eri want to intervene to overcome the unsurmountable barrier, thanks to the wild. Have you heard about the ship of Theseus? If the ship is completely replaced by different wooden parts of the ship, it is still the same ship or not? And additionally, what about the people on that enemy who replace their physical bodies with wild personas? Is there a difference between those who replace their biological bodies with alternate cell and prosthetic arm? Many philosophers debated this question, but still to date remain unsolved. Advances in AI and machine learning are making it possible to create digital avatar that can simulate a person, his personality and behavior. These avatars are built using the digital trace left on social media, allowing them to interact and respond in a way that mimics the original person. Beyond digital avatar, mind uploading and brain-computer interface are being explored as method to achieve digital immortality. This technology aims to preserve and transfer human consciousness into a digital format, extending the life beyond the physical realm. Can a digital replicate really represent the essence of a person? Philosophical question about identity, consciousness, and the nature of self arise. When we consider the application of this digital immortality, the ability to interact with digital replicas of deceased individuals would have profound emotional and social impact. This potential raises a question about grief and the way we remember and honor our loved one.
私たちの生活にすっかり馴染んだものとなりました。しかし千宮寺会長のように脳と神経系以外全てをサイボーグ化した例はまだまだ珍しいものです。
不思議なんですよ。なぜみんな早く不自由な肉体を捨ててしまわないのか。
不自由ですか？
肉体は魂の牢獄だとプラトンは意味を増している。老いを克服することがこれほどまでに幸福なこととは。機械の体を受け入れない限り理解はできないでしょう。
しかし最新の技術をもってしても脳の寿命は150年程度とされています。脳の完全な機械化はまだまだクリアできていない課題が山積みとか。
限界まで酷使すればまだ私の脳には余裕がある。その間にブレイクスルーが起きることを期待しますよ。
なるほど。もしもそれが起きたとしたら。
さよう。不死の時代の到来です。神は自分に似せて人を作ったという。そろそろもう少し人が神に似てもいいのでは。
アンケート調査によると全身の5割を超えるサイボーグ化には抵抗を感じると答えた方が大多数のようですが。
抵抗があるという人の気持ちはわかりますよ。結局は程度の問題なんですよ。例えばあなたも立派なサイボーグですよ。
しかし私は義手も義足も人工臓器も使っていません。
何らかの携帯情報端末を持っていますよね。
それはまあ誰でも持っているのでは。
コスデバイスも。
もちろん。
そして家にはホームオートメーションと AI セクレタリー。
ええ。
それらのデータが災害や事故によって一気に失われたらあなたはどうなりますか？
それは復旧するまで何の仕事もできません。
自分の生活をそこまで電子的な装置に委託しているのにサイボーグではないと言っても説得力はありませんよ。あなたにとって携帯端末はすでに第二の脳だ。違いますか？科学の歴史は人間の身体機能の拡張、つまり人間機械化の歴史と言い換えても差し支えない。だから程度の問題なんです。
As it can be pretty difficult to dispute what he's saying. The traditional definition of a cyborg is a fusion of a man and machine. With that in mind, if people in advanced society are using their technology as an auxiliary brain or as tools that are completely necessary for them to be able to function regularly, that sort of reliance on machine could also be viewed as a state of being that analogous to that of a cyborg. Aging is the lifelong accumulation of damage to the body that occurs as intrinsic side effect of the body is a normal operation. Genetic engineering can slow aging by manipulation of our DNA. A key area of focus of anti-aging research is the role of telomere. Telomere are the protective caps on the ends of chromosome that affect how quickly cells age. They are a combination of DNA and protein that protect the end of chromosome and help them remain stable as they become shorter as their structure and integrity weaken. The cell age and die quicker, contributing in the aging process. But what if we can lengthen them? Scientists are exploring ways to activate telomerase, an enzyme that repair and lengthen telomere. By doing that, they hope to extend the lifespan of the cell. Also, by the same approach, we can correct DNA or modify them in order to prevent disease and attain more healthy life. Cryonic is the low temperature freezing and storage of a human remains in the hope that resurrection may be possible in the future. In the scientific age, belief in magic, elixir of life, has been replaced by the hope that someday scientists will still be able to find a cure for the old age. Physical resurrection from the dead has been embodied in the technology of cryogenic freezing of the body. Until better time, cryonics is regarded with skepticism by the mainstream scientific community. It is generally viewed as pseudoscience, but Alcor Company is applying this process with already 200, and they hope that nanotechnology and regenerative medicine will dismiss the damage caused by the freezing. Imagine that with your own perspective of this reality, you have been transported in the future. Everything there is new and a way you are not familiar with. Can you adapt your old vision into the world's new era?
悪い話ではあるまいが、おぼろ様、先ほど生き地獄云々と申されておったが、まこと地獄と申すものがあるならば、死してこの世に生まれ落ち200という4年、下脱も救済も欲することかなわぬままに、この天然が相撲ておる狭間の世こそまさに地獄なり。
That character contended that the sense of closure and the awareness of our immortality that death brings to life give it significance. He claimed that death is not something to be dreaded, but rather welcome as part of the human experience.
やはり面白い。鬼の寿命は優に1000年を超えるが、人の命は瞬く間だ。しかし人はその意志を、技を受け継ぐことでより長く生きる。 人は誠に面白い。だからこそ聞きたい。人よ、なぜ刀を振るう？摂理に逆らい得た力でお前は何を切る？
他がために、守るべき者のために振るうのみ。
As the demons say, a human can defy the passage of time, whether through art, religion, science, or other means. The pursuit of immortality projects allow creators to achieve a form of enduring legacy. The wheel of science, for example, will keep turning thanks to the accumulation of human experience and observation that will enable us to pass our understanding of an unnatural phenomenon, or in another word, our paradigm, to the future, allowing them to continue to develop scientific method and research inside the previous model, or completely destroying it and raising a new model that correct the reading of the past and suggests a new mechanics and a new perspective to the natural law that control our universe. We can take the conflict between the geocentric model and eurocentrism as a magnificent example. This whispering between the generations highlights the capacity of immortality project to shape the collective consciousness of a society, or rather of our world. This method of immortality is highly criticized by being a forced immortality, or at least the immortality of the soul, not the body, but it is suggested that instead of seeking a natural quality, immortality project can help us to live more fully, even as we embrace sadness and difficulty or heartbreak and grief. We can investigate this feeling through passing down our project inspiration to experience the full range of our natural mortal world. For a human being, time comes to the end with our death. Therefore, if we want to understand what is mean to be an authentic human being, then it is essential that we constantly project our life into the horizon of our death. This is what Heidegger famously called being toward death. If our being is finite, then authentic human life can only be found by confronting finitude and trying to make meaning out of the fact of our death. Heidegger subscribed to the ancient maxim that to philosophize is to learn how to die. Mortality is that in relation to which we shape and fashion our selfhoods.